On today's show, we are interviewing the New York Times bestselling author, corporate trainer, and speaker who specializes in the topics of leadership, culture, sales, and teamwork. John Gordon is most widely known for his best-selling books, although he's not actually very wide at all. I just want to get that clarity out there for the Thrive Nation. Visually speaking, he's a very thin man. Back to you, Clay. Thank you for that clarification. And so, as I was saying, he's best known for his best-selling books, The Energy Bus, 10 Rules to Fuel Your Life, Work, and Team with Positive Energy. And he's the best-selling author of The Power of a Positive Team, proven principles and practices that make great teams great. Clay, just quick time out here. I just want to tell you, I'm not picking up the energy. This guy wrote the book called The Energy Bus. Come on, man. Bring the sizzle. Sure. Okay, fine. I'll step it up a little bit here. Throughout John's career, he has worked with so many top-tier athletic organizations, it's mind-blowing. He's worked with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, I hate to do this to you, but I hate to throw you under the energy bus, but so far I'm not very impressed. You could have thrown in like a pirate joke there. As an example, Clay, what's a pirate's favorite question? I have no idea. I don't know. Are you ready for John Gordon? You see what I did right there? See, he works for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I made it into the pirate joke. I said "are," and it only took me like 3 hours to come up with that. Come on, Clay. Listen, if you interrupt me one more time, I'm going to come behind that glass, and I'm going to gouge out your eyeballs. Well, it sounds like you're motivated now, Tiger. Where did the energy come from? I don't want to throw you under the energy bus, but I'm glad you could join us. I'm glad you finally woke up and brought some energy to the track. The San Diego Padres, the Miami Heat, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Atlanta Falcons, the Clemson Tigers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and many, many Fortune 500 companies, including Wells Fargo, Publix, Campbell's Soup, Southwest Airlines, Bayer, West Point Academy, Northwestern Mutual, and more. All right, we got to change up the music here. Hey, listen here. We're introducing John freaking Gordon. This guy's the big deal. I want you to bring your best rap flow ever. Let's do it. Come on. All right, I'll do it. So on the microphone now, we're recording. Yes. Doing a show with our man John Gordon. Oh. He helps teams to win like Mike Jordan. Yes. No exaggeration, I'm just reporting facts.
How does he do it?
He's been on CNBC. He's been on the Today Show. Now he's on the show with me.
Oh, yeah.
He's an expert about building a team. For an intro any longer, I'd have to charge a fee.
My mind exploded.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show. But this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Ecstasy every time Dr. Z is next to me. Sir, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. And you know what just made my day better?
What?
I got on our guest that we're going to have on the show. I got on his website, John Gordon.
Yeah.
And even though you may not buy something off of here, one of his books or whatnot, just a picture of him.
It's eye candy.
I mean, it's just eye candy.
Well, in addition,
all the Thrive Nation, you should get on his website and check it out. And you know what? You're welcome up front.
In addition to the eye candy, let me tell you about this guy, okay? He's going to teach us today about how to create a sustainably positive atmosphere in our workplace,
which is good.
Which is a good thing.
It's good.
And he's he's been the consultant of choice, the speaker of choice for the Los Angeles Rams. Have you heard of the LA Rams?
Yeah, they were.
Southwest Airlines?
Yeah.
Campbell's Soup. Ever heard of that company?
I eat it regularly.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Brooklyn, the old Brooklyn days.
I'm glad you have, because I've never heard of any of these companies or this thing called the Fortune 500, which apparently he speaks to these companies as well.
Companies. They're up-and-comers.
So, John Gordon, whoever you are, welcome onto the show. How are you?
Hey, guys. Great to be with you. You're cracking me up.
Well, hey, we are super excited to have you on the show. And for the listeners out there that are not familiar with your background, previous to becoming the best-selling author, speaker, guru that you are today, could you walk us through your background to becoming the, quote-unquote, John Gordon?
Sure. Well, I was really negative, actually, years ago, even though I speak about positivity. It's ironic that I do this because I grew up in Long Island, New York, in a Jewish Italian family. A lot of food, a lot of guilt, and I had a lot of a lot of negativity growing up, and then but a lot of love, but a lot of negativity. And then my 20s, early 30s, I really struggled, and so much so my wife threatened to leave me. She said, "If you don't change, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not going to spend my life with someone who makes me so miserable. And so you have to change." So I had begged her to stay. I agreed to change, and that began this journey of researching all these ways that I could be more positive. And at first it was just me wanting to be more positive. And then I started sharing these tips on a newsletter, a weekly positive tip every week. And I had 5 subscribers in the beginning: my mother, my brother, my best friend from college. They were getting the newsletter whether they liked it or not. And I would just put that out there, but then people started to share it. And that led me to get my first book deal. And I started writing and started speaking from there. I didn't want to speak at first. I was terrified to speak, and I wasn't a very good speaker. So it was this long journey of, again, feeding myself, learning how to feed others in a positive way. And now here we are. Years later, I'm 47 years old, and I get to do the work that I love. And I realized that, I was meant to do this, to inspire and encourage others. And it's not, again, cheesy positivity. It's really about the real positive stuff that makes great leaders and great teams great.
John, I'd like for you to speak about this because Z, your sister Marianne is the producer of the Today Show up there in New York.
Yeah, one of the lead producers. Yeah.
And I've been, to New York many times. I spent a lot of time, John, with New Yorkers. And there's sort of a hardened, calloused, sort of an aggressive, sarcastic undertone to many conversations. So a guy like John might say, Mom and Dad, at some point I want to become an author. And they go, well, that's good. Are they going to print it on toilet paper? You know what I mean? And it's like there's like this. Is it not this aggressive, sarcastic? I mean, can you explain that attitude that's prevalent? Because you've had to. I mean, obviously, not everyone's like that, but there is a kind of an intensity there of sarcasm. Can you explain that background?
Totally. Well, first, I was on the Today Show this summer on Kathy Lee and Hoda, and it was one of the special moments of my life, just meeting Kathy Lee for the first time. Hoda, they were amazing people.
Well, who produced? You remember whoever produced you?
I don't.
Was it Marianne? Was it a blonde by the name of Marianne by any chance? That's my sister. That'd been so crazy.
I don't know. I had a great PR.
Was she the best person in the world?
Anyway. Rogers and Cowan that I was dealing with, and they were the ones who booked it.
All right. Cool.
But back to that, New Yorkers. But yet, being up in New York and being from New York, they do want positivity. They just are so stressed and busy that during the week, they're all just trying to survive. And yet that same person, when they're at home, perhaps with their family or friends, they tend to be a little bit more positive. But there is a little bit of a sarcastic nature, or a little bit of a cynicism there as well. You're right. And so I told my dad I want to be a writer and speaker. And again, he's a former New York City police officer, undercover narcotics. So my dad was shot he was shot a few times. He wasn't too big on positivity, my dad. And he was fighting the drug cartels in the street of New York City. And so years later, I said, Dad, I want to be a writer and speaker. He said, what the heck you want to do that for? That's a load of junk. That won't amount to anything. He said, just focus on your restaurant. At the time, I had a burrito shop, a Moe's Southwest Grill burrito place. I was the first Moe's Southwest Grill in Florida. Well, fast forward a few years later, I get on the Today Show for the first time. Carrie Burns was able to get me on years ago. She was the producer, and I got on for the first time. And my dad saw me on TV, and I remember getting the call from him. He's like, "Your mother, I just saw you on TV. You really made a difference. We're so proud of you. We always knew you could do it." And I didn't even remember being negative.
Okay. That's nice.
We had a question earlier, and I just want to touch on this as we go on. But Clay brought this up. He said, for Christmas, a lot of people get soap on a rope, but nobody gets a burrito on a rope. And since you've owned burritos, I mean, why is that? Can you answer that age-old question?
Please answer the question.
I mean, gosh, we want to know.
The soap is solid, and the burrito would fall apart. That's
Clay, I knew there was a reason.
Well, this just in page 2 of our deep interview here with John. Now, John Gordon, what inspired you to first write the book, The Power of a Positive Team, Proven Principles and Practices That Make Great Teams Great?
Well, I wrote The Energy Bus in 2006. It came out in 2007, and that's been my biggest best-selling book. And that book has been used by a lot of sports teams, a lot of Fortune 500 companies. Again, LA Rams, Dodgers, Clemson football. I've worked with Clemson for the past 7 years. You name it, most of the coaches have used it with their team. So over the years, I've had the opportunity to speak to all these different teams and get to learn from them, get to learn from these coaches, from these great leaders, both in corporate America, educators in schools, nonprofits, hospitals, you name it. And so I wrote The Power of Positive Leadership a couple of years ago, wanting to share what I learned over the years about great leadership. So Power of Positive Leadership is everything I've learned since the Energy Bus came out. Well, then I also wanted to share what made great teams great, since I worked with so many teams, and that came out just recently about the power of a positive team. And these are the proven principles that I know work with teams. And the great news is you can also use this at home too, with your team at home.
So you have some strategies in this book that you lay out, and I'd like to go through I want to go through the 4 strategies here. So strategy number 1,
Sure.
The no complaining rule. What does that mean? The no complaining rule?
You're not allowed to complain unless you come with a solution. So if you have a justified complaint, bring it, but also bring a solution that's going to make everything better, because every complaint represents an opportunity to turn something negative into a positive. But we want to get rid of the mindless complaining. I say that complaining is like throwing up. Afterwards, you feel better, but then everyone around you feels sick. And so we want to get rid of that mindless complaining. I know that's gross, but we'll never forget that analogy.
So let's talk about the kind of complaining that I deal with in some of my companies. Someone will say, I freaking don't like my schedule. That kind of thing. I freaking don't like. And see, wherever the break room could be renamed the complaint room. People will gather.
Or the throw-up room.
So we try to stagger it so there's never 2 or more gathered.
Yeah.
But some people go in the break room and immediately they go, how's your freaking day?
Yeah.
My day's pretty good. Well, I hate my schedule. Do you hate your schedule? What do you get paid per hour? And it begins this. So how would you, if you're managing a company with, let's say, about 90 employees in this particular scenario, you come into one of our companies, let's just say someone's complaining in the break room. I know how we handle it, and I think you and I are very much aligned in our strategies. But how would you handle it if you encountered somebody complaining in the break room?
Well, first, I would do it at the cultural level, just like PPR did. They're the one who invented the rule. I wrote a book called The No Complaining Rule, and it outlines what to do, how to do it in a fable format. It's a story. So PPR basically implemented this rule at a cultural level. They said it's not okay to complain. It's just not okay. We're not going to do it. When they look to hire people, they tell them in the employee interview process, if you're a complainer, this is not the right place for you. So do not come here. So they weed out the negative of doing that. They share it at company meetings. They talk about it. It's reinforcing their culture. So that wouldn't even happen in the company that I joined or that I was leading or managing, because you would know that it's not okay to just come in and complain. But if you didn't like the schedule, okay, what can we do about it? Is there a solution where we can give you a better schedule? Is there a more flexible schedule? And we would talk about if it's possible. And if it's not possible, then you would just have to do what you have to do in this moment. You either leave or you stay and be positive at this time while we go through the process. And then perhaps we can find a solution later on.
Strategy number 2, replace have to with get to. John, what do you mean by this?
Right. So often we say, I have to go to work. I have to go to this meeting. I have to do this job. I have to go pick up the kids, here and there. No, we don't have to. We get to. And when you change have to get to, you change this complaining voice to an appreciative heart. And I'm convinced that abundance flows into your life when gratitude flows out of your heart. My mom passed away 12 years ago, so she doesn't get to do anything anymore, but I do. So every day is a gift, not an obligation. And it's really about focusing on appreciation and gratitude. And when you appreciate, you elevate. You elevate your mood, you elevate how you feel, and you elevate the people around you.
There's so many good knowledge bombs per capita. I want to marinate on it. Did you ever marinate burritos, or is that not a move?
Yeah, I guess give me that.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever marinate burritos?
Probably the meat in the burritos, I think, maybe.
So the one that I own, I always worked the tables and would wipe the tables down. No one even knew I was the owner. I think I was like 29 at the time. And so I would just wipe the table down, but I never actually made a burrito. It's my claim to fame, but I was the host, the greeter, and the table wiper.
You know what? In this politically correct time,
Yes.
I respect that sort of non-answer about marinating burritos. We move on now to strategy
we move
3.
on. You know what?
With positivity.
We're going to positively move on.
We get to move on.
We don't have to.
We get to.
We get to.
We before me. We before me. We before me. What does that strategy mean there, John?
Well, it means that from a leadership standpoint, you have to put the team first, right? It has to be about we, not me. Great leaders see greatness in others. They don't focus on themselves. So if you focus on yourself and you're not a servant leader, you can't be a great leader. And so great leaders are all about commitment. Everybody wants a committed team, but you have to be committed to the people that you lead if you want them to be committed back. Leaders go first. Leaders commit first. And when you commit, you'll get committed back. As a team member, it means I'm going to put the team first. I'm going to focus on we, not me. The team, our growth, our success matters. And when I selflessly serve the team, when I help the team get better, I get better, we get better. And we live in a world that says you have to get yours, you have to fight for yours. But we see over and over again, and I see it too, that a team that comes together, that serves each other, commits to each other, winds up becoming a great team. And then it elevates everyone around them. I know the Rams lost the last 2 games, and they're having a tough time the last 2. But throughout the season and all last season, their motto has been we before me. It's one of the key cultural changes that they did to establish themselves as a great team.
Strategy number 4, John, talk to yourself, which is good, Z, because the other day when I got arrested, running around nude by the river, I was talking to myself. And so,
I thought you had socks on.
I did. I was trying to point out to the officer, look, I have socks on. What's the big deal?
Yeah,
but I think the moment you talk about talking to yourself, people immediately go to kind of a woo-woo place, John, and they start to say, that's so weird. But yet when you're around super successful people, you hear them all say as a tip, talk to yourself. John, talk to ourselves about talking to yourself.
Well, it's the best advice I ever heard from Dr. James Gills. He's the only person on the planet to complete 6 double Ironman triathlons. That's a double Ironman, which means you do an Ironman, and then after that you do another one. And the last time he did it, he was 59 years old. So
Sick.
Was asked how he did it at 59. He said, I've learned to talk to myself instead of listen to myself. If I listen to myself, I hear all the negative, the fear, the doubt, and the complaints. But if I talk to myself, I can feed myself with the words and the encouragement that I need to keep on moving forward. And so the mindset here is that negative thoughts are always going to come in. And I ask this of professional athletes all the time. I say, okay, when your negative thoughts, come to you, are they coming from you? And they'll go, yeah. And I go, really? Who would ever choose to have a negative thought? You would never choose one. So those negative thoughts are not coming from you. They always come in. It's a consciousness thing. They just come in. But here's the key. Do not believe those negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are lies. And then what you do is you speak truth to those lies. You speak encouragement to those lies. Because we don't give up because it's hard. We give up because we get discouraged. So if we can help people stay encouraged, if we can speak truth to ourselves on a daily basis and encouragement to ourselves, we're able to move forward. And I think a lot of people lose the battle in their mind first. And one of my key goals in life and missions in life is to share this message, because I know it's helped thousands and thousands of people and some of the top performers you see in sports, and it works. So talk to yourself, don't listen to yourself.
You know what? Finally, a question I've had on my mind for the last few years has been answered on this show, which is really pretty cool.
The whole burrito thing?
No. The question is, I'm a big Oklahoma Sooner fan, by the way, and I thought to myself, where in the heck did the Clemson Tigers come from? I mean, why is this bright orange purple team been relevant over the last 7 years?
Well, I'll tell you why.
What happened?
Let's think about this. Let's think about it.
Okay.
You think about the Rams.
Yes.
You think about Clemson.
Yes.
You think about the game of football. You think about 2 winners. And you say, what is the common denominator?
What? It's not orange or purple.
You know what it is? It's John Gordon.
And a ram and a tiger are about as far apart as you can get in the animal spectrum.
It's John Gordon.
It's John Gordon. Okay, so here's the move. Here's just between us. Nobody's listening.
Just a couple.
It's
100,000
okay.
people.
I've got a little I've got a little something to make it right.
Here we go.
Can you get down to Norman here in the next little bit and give my boys a little pep talk? Okay. We're kind of in a big game here on the 29th. against.
I believe they're going to win. It's just first off, I believe they're going to win.
Wow!
And
prophesy it, Gordon.
I spoke to the Sooners basketball team, women's basketball, a number of years ago. Sherry Cole brought me in. Great coach.
Oh yeah,
great.
well, no wonder that, and they had a great run. That's the thing. Did you
had a chance to sit down with Landry Jones when I was there. Great young man.
I went hunting with him last week, as a matter of fact. What? Seriously?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got cut by Jacksonville, so he had some time off, so we went hunting.
Really? You're a
awesome.
unicorn. You're a unicorn.
Seriously, great guy. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Guy. And but I want you guys to know, and the listeners, I do not take credit for anyone's success, because here's the deal. I spoke to the Cleveland Browns 2 years ago, and so I did not help them at all. But you get a guy like Baker Mayfield comes in, and what he does is he shares his belief, right? He has a tremendous amount of conviction and belief. So I think I'm brought in by these coaches who are great leaders. Dabo Sweeney is the real deal, incredible leader. Sean McVay, incredible leader. Dave Roberts with the Dodgers, incredible leader. Eric Spoelstra with the Miami Heat, love Eric, incredible leader. So it's these great leaders who reach out, and then I work with them, and I'm basically just sharing principles and tools, but they're the leaders that are reinforcing it, and it doesn't work unless you have a leader, unless you have a great leader to begin with, and I think that's the key.
Well, here's the deal, okay? I'm a huge Patriots fan, and I was thinking, and again, I don't know if you take this kind of offer, Z, but if we were to pay John, I'm not sure if you'd be okay.
He probably
with
doesn't do it for free, I don't think.
Well, we'd pay you, and you'd go give a talk to the Saints, right? And we would call this the reverse. And so here are the strategies we would teach. One, guys, I want everyone to complain. If you did not catch the last pass, you complain. Strategy 2, I want you to replace have to with have to. Y'all want more have to. Yeah. Then strategy number 3, we're going to go from we to me.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not about your contract next year. Come on.
And then strategy number 4, no one talk to yourself. Shut up by yourself.
Shut up.
There we go. Would you be willing to do that for a few dollars? Just go in there and kill that culture.
I don't think I could do it. I just couldn't.
Okay.
Right. Well, okay. We asked.
You ask. All you can do is say.
Belichick said, "Could you film?" We said, "We've already tried that, coach." So, could you deflate a ball? We've already tried that, coach. Could you hire a reverse motivational speaker? We tried that, coach. Okay, we move on now. All right. So now,
do you know Belichick's secret to success? By the way, he is such a great coach that he coaches that team, and he coaches all of the coaches in such a way that they know most of the time, except for the Miami game, but most of the time, really what to do in every situation, how to anticipate, and the key is they have a game plan before every game, and everybody knows the game plan. Everybody on the team knows exactly what they have to do, and this is how we're going to win the game. This is what we're going to do on offense. This is what we're going to do on defense. This is how we're going to approach the game. This is everything we're going to do to win. And then everyone knows what they need to do. And a lot of times a coach may have an idea, but it's not conveyed and communicated where everyone truly understands that this is how they win the game. And it's just by doing that and coaching up his coaches. A lot of leaders do not coach up their coaches. And again, he's got a new defensive coach, so maybe they're having some issues when you lose Patricia. It's going to take him maybe a year or two to get that coach to a certain level. So anyway, I'm not a huge Patriots fan, I have to be honest with that, but I do admire the way he coaches his team.
Well, if you do happen to get a call from him, and Mr. Belichick wants you to come up and give a few kind words and do all that, could you put a good word in for Clay Clark and the Thrive Time show? Because that's one of Clay's unicorns that he would love to have on the show. I mean, if it's possible. Now that we bonded and we're like BFFs, so, I mean, just saying.
Nothing weird. My entire house is covered in Bill Belichick fatheads. Nothing weird.
And Tom Brady above your bed, which is really weird.
That was weird the first 5 or 6 years of my marriage, but now it's fine.
That's not.
Now we move on. So I want to ask you this. You have become a huge author now, major success. Somebody out there listening is going, I would like to do that. But it feels overwhelming. It's like the success, and I would like to do that. Can I ask you, what was your process for landing a literary agent? Who's your agent? How did you get into the world of speaking and world of being an author?
Well, speaking, I just went out there and just started doing it. And I created a website, and I basically said, I'm John Gordon. I'm nobody, but this is who I am. I put up news section, speaking section, event section, consulting. I didn't have any of it at the time, but I literally created my website.
Did you say
started.
Nude section?
Whoa.
Did you say
no, news?
News. I was going to say, well, I could see where that would work. He's a handsome man.
seriously.
I'm sorry.
My
But
I was speaking
my
engagement
wife
optional.
would not allow that. And so I started. We don't want to scare people away, so I started to do that. And then for the agent section, I basically looked at who I thought would be perfect to represent me and would be great. And I literally reached out to them and just said, hey, I'm going to be in town, would love to meet. And they were open to meeting. Again, it doesn't always happen like that, but it happened. And so I had an agent on my first book. And then after that, I don't have an agent anymore. So I don't really know anybody in the agent world, but now I pretty much just represent myself to my publishers. Again, it's been 18 books, so I just have a direct relationship with them. But to find that first agent was I just reached out, and we've actually been friends ever since. So that was definitely a fortuitous meeting. I would say a God divine appointment. So that's how I did it. But for someone else, you want to build your platform. You want to put stuff out there. You want to start sharing your ideas on a blog, on Twitter, on Instagram, social media. You want to start putting your information out there. You have to start growing your platform, or else no one's going to even look at you in today's world. So you have to put it out there and actually do the work. You may have a great idea. You may have a great book. You have a great message, but you have to build the platform.
In addition to your book, in addition to your new book, The Power of a Positive Team, what's one book that you'd recommend for all the listeners out there? What's a book where you say, that book really helped you to turn on the jets to figure out how business works?
I only talk about my books, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, I respect that. That seems like a Belichick move.
It's a positive move. That's a positive move.
Positive move.
Hey, we to me. There we go. We to me. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, a lot of books have impacted me on this journey. I just wanted to kid with you guys. So John Ortberg, his book Soul Keeping was just incredible. I love that book. Donald Miller wrote a book, A Million Miles in 1,000 Years, that I just love. Erwin McManus wrote a book recently called The Last Arrow. I just love that book. So there's been just so many books on the journey. It's hard to share them all.
I'm going to put these on the show notes real quick. Could you repeat those three one more time? I just want to make sure I put these on the show notes. Our listeners are voracious readers.
John Ortberg wrote a book called Soul Keeping, just an amazing book. Mm-hmm. And then Donald Miller, A Million Miles in 1,000 Years, which is just an incredible book I love. Erwin McManus, who's a pastor in L.A. He wrote a book called The Last Arrow, which is a great book. He has a new one coming out that I just can't wait to read. It's called The Way of the Warrior. Amazing book on that.
Now, my final question for you. See, my final question. This just the Power of a Positive Team. This is a book you've been working on for a while. People can pick it up. Talk to us about the next 12 months. Are you going to be out promoting the book? Speaking, what does your vision look like for the next 12 months of your life?
Well, it's mostly just continually to do the work I'm doing. So I already have a lot of events lined up, so it's not like I go on a tour, but I speak at all the various events that I've been brought in to speak to and hired to speak with. And then from there, I'll work with teams for training camp next year. I work with University of Washington football team. They're playing in the Rose Bowl. So they're coming to LA, so I'm going to go see them, sometime before the game. And if Clemson goes to the national championship, I'm going to go to that game. And then I just really continually write and speak, and I'm working on a bunch of, I have a new book coming out in the spring in April, so that's coming out. And my vision really is to inspire and empower as many people as possible, one person at a time. So it's not like I have a 5-year plan or have any external goals. That's just what I want to do, and every day just show up and try to continue to do that.
Z, with 30 seconds left on the board, what's your final question?
2, if Clemson and OU play in the national championship game, can I get a little me and Dabo hanging out, having a burrito before the game, maybe possibly think about it, pray about it,
think about it, form a committee.
I mean, I wouldn't wear like bright red. I'd maybe wear like a. Is that for blending? Is that blending? It would be a
burnt orange maybe, kind of a vibe.
Yeah. No, I'd never wear that.
Now, John,
but the real question is this. Okay. The real question is, if you could go back, you said, how old are you now?
47.
47. You could go back 20 years. You're 27 years old. Oof. What advice would you give that young man?
I would say don't worry so much and don't stress so much and don't fear it. I would say what I wrote about in The Carpenter, to love it, and love casts out fear. So if you focus on the love that you have of the work you're doing and the love you have for others and The love of, even again in sports or anything, competing, if you love it, you won't fear it. So just get back to love and fear will dissipate. And I think that's the key. Because I worried a lot when I was younger. I had a lot of fear. And once I overcame that fear battle, that changed everything.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great word.
John, we'd like to end each and every show with a boom, which around here stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. And so, Z, are you ready for the boom? Are you ready to bring the boom?
Yes, I am.
John, are you prepared to bring the boom?
I thought we were doing that, but I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
On the count of three, we're going to bring the boom.
Okay.
Z, are you psychologically prepared?
Yeah,
okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom! Oh, that was good.
That was awesome.
That'll require minimal editing. That was perfect boom.
That was
good boom. Our boom was not good. That was a good boom.
That was a great boom. It was borderline great, I think.
If you laughed and you learned something today, I would encourage you to share today's show with a person in your life who is maybe a leader of a team, somebody you know who's in business, anybody that you can think of that leads a team of people needs to hear today's show. In fact, anybody who you know who doesn't lead a team of people, but who aspires to someday lead a group of people needs to hear today's show. So share it with them on Spotify or iTunes or up there on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Send them a link, and I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on today's show, we're interviewing an entrepreneur who is kind, who is diligent, who is the kind of person you'd want to hang out with. And I think if you're out there today, we need to understand that money is just a magnifier. Money just makes you more of who you are. And I hear nothing but great things about today's guest and longtime client, Myron. Welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, thanks. I'm doing good.
Hey, so real quick, let's get into your background a little bit here. How did you first hear about us? How long ago was that when we first started coaching or working with you?
So that was, it had been about 6.5 years ago. Steve Currington, one of you guys' longtime clients as well. He actually recommended me to you guys about 6 years ago. And I went to one of your conferences and I was blown away by what I seen at the conference and I had to join.
Now, someone wants to verify you're a real person, and also it might turn into a couple deals for you. What's your website so people can pull this up and verify you're not a hologram?
Yeah, check us out. whitegloveautotulsa.com.
whitegloveautotulsa.com. So let me pull it up here. whitegloveautotulsa.com. And with White Glove Auto, what are all the services that you guys provide at this point?
So the services that we provide right now are like services like paint protection film for your vehicle to protect its paint, ceramic coating for your paint. It's another form of paint protection. We do window tinting, and then we do vinyl wraps.
So you guys at White Glove Auto, I mean, you guys do quite a few services. Also, these mics I have right here, you guys auto wrap these microphones. Is that accurate, sir?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we printed out that wrap ourselves and we wrap those.
That's awesome. So that's, again, folks, that's White Glove Auto. Now, as far as growth, since we've had the opportunity to serve you, what kind of growth have you seen over these past 6.5 years?
So man, that's the crazy thing. So our growth has been absolutely insane. I averaged it up over the last 8 years I've been in business. We've averaged about a 52% growth year over year, and that is just insane.
So you've grown. If you had to go back 6.5 years from when we started with you to now, do you know what that total growth percentage would be? Are you like 5 times larger or 10 times larger?
Oh man, I mean,
50% of a big number is,
I mean, when I first started with you guys, I think I had just done $100,000 for the whole year. This year, I'm probably gonna do 2.1 million.
Wow, so you guys are up 20 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for anybody out there that hasn't worked with a business consultant, I always tell people what we do is very analogous to what a personal trainer does for fitness. And I would also say that what you guys do at White Glove Auto is very similar to what a personal trainer does, but you do it for automobiles. So if you're out there today and you want to auto wrap a vehicle, I guess you could get a manual about it. And I guess you could get all the equipment. And I guess that you could devote usually years to learn the craft and master it and then invest in the physical building to auto wrap your own vehicles. Or you could go to an expert. Can you kind of explain what it's like working with a business coaching program on a week in, week out basis?
Yeah, so like working with the business coaching program is phenomenal. It's something that I'm very glad that I've done. Every week, meeting with you guys, for instance, is just nice to know updates on my SEO and how things are going. And anytime I have questions about things I might be stuck on, and being able to have those questions answered has just been great.
And when the meetings, I think one of the things that I think is very important, whether you have a business or you have a business coach, you need to have certain core, repeatable, actionable processes that you go every week so you don't drift. There's certain core, repeatable, actionable processes. Could you talk about maybe how those meetings have helped you to make sure that, that you're not drifting and that your organization is continuing to knock out those core, repeatable, actionable processes?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the biggest things I learned from you guys' meetings is, doing checklists and processes and just making sure I'm doing the same thing every day. And when I go to my meetings, my coach is always following up with me, making sure I'm doing my action items. And if I'm not, he kind of gets a little upset with me. So it keeps me on track. But yeah, learning those processes has definitely been a huge help for us as well.
Can you maybe peel back the onion and maybe share a couple core, repeatable, actionable processes that you have to do every week that might seem kind of mind numbing, but that actually produce results?
Yeah. So, I mean, this is something I do every week. I do actually every day, and that's finances, going over my numbers and seeing my exact expenses and how much money is coming in, how much money is going out. And I do that every single day for about an hour, hour and a half a day. And it's mind numbing, but it's something I got to do. And that's something I learned in Thrive as well, is making sure you're on top of your numbers.
And my understanding is you now are the owner of a Lamborghini. Is this an accurate thing? Did you just buy a Lamborghini?
Yeah. I did just buy a Lamborghini. It delivers today.
And what does it look like, or what kind, for people out there that don't know what it is? Can you maybe describe it or tell me what kind of Lamborghini is it?
Yeah, it's a 2020 Lamborghini Huracan Evo. It's actually like a purple color. So Viola Pacife is what the color is called. Yep, Huracan Evo.
Evo, got it. And I am not a car guy, so I'm going to just hack away here and see if I can find it. So this is kind of what it looks like, but yours is purple.
Yep, exactly. It's purple. So it's not a convertible either. It's actually the coupe, but that is pretty much what it looks like.
And has this been on your wish list for a long time, or?
It has been. Yeah, it's been on a wish list for a very long time. I can't believe I've actually been able to buy a $300,000 car, but here I am.
Now, let's talk about this for people out there that are thinking about coming to a workshop. I always tell people it's $250 to come to a workshop, or whatever price they want to pay. What can people expect if they come to a workshop?
Man, when you come to a workshop, I mean, even though it's, $250 or, whatever you spend, you're going to get a ton of value out of that. Whenever I go to a workshop that you guys have, I always learn something new every time I go. There's a bunch of information, a bunch of questions that get answered that maybe I didn't know I had. So anyway, it's very, very helpful.
And we'll talk about website edits and graphic design and branding and print pieces. I think a lot of business owners, they have a consultant they hire, and then the consultant they hire tells them, well, you need to go optimize your website, or you need to go launch ads, or you need to go look at your numbers. But they don't actually sit down and help them with their numbers, or help them with their website, or help them. How has that helped you, having a turnkey, one point of contact, where every week when you meet with our coaching team, after that meeting, you've got a team that's doing the photography, the videography, the web development, the search engine, and kind of helping you with those things behind the scenes?
Oh, it's a huge help. So, I mean, if you guys were just telling me, hey, do this, do that, and not giving me any type of actual coaching on how to do those processes, probably wouldn't do it, because it'd be a little too difficult. Maybe it's a little overwhelming. So it's definitely nice to have a lot of help on the back end from you guys.
Now, let's talk about this idea. In business, there's always a new idea. People like to bring up new ideas and obsess on new ideas and not execute the proven ideas. Can you maybe talk about that? Because I see a lot of wonderful entrepreneurs that reach out to us. They schedule a 13-point assessment, and I find out that for 10 consecutive years, they've been hopping to the idea of the month, the idea of the week, the idea of the hour. And they're always hopping from idea to idea, but they don't actually get anything done. Can you maybe talk about how coaching kind of helps you stay on track with what works?
Yeah, I think really the biggest thing is just having that coach there that's behind you. And every week, like I said, whenever you're meeting with that coach, they're just making sure that you're staying on track. Again, having somebody who's there and knowing that they could get upset with you because you're not staying on track and doing your action items is a huge help. You know, if I didn't have that person behind me kind of helping push me, I don't think some of the stuff would be getting done.
Now, you know, we charge $1,700 a month as of the time of the recording of today's show. $1,700 a month. We operate at a 20% margin for what we do. And we're very clear about that. It's $1,700 a month. It's month to month, and it's 20% margin. With your business model, you guys do auto wraps. And if somebody out there is looking to auto wrap, let's say a truck or a car or a vehicle, what kind of has Andrew been able to help you be intentional about making sure that you're not doing auto wraps where you lose money? Because I know a lot of people in your industry that I've met at conferences that do beautiful wraps, but they found a way to lose money on every transaction. Has Andrew kind of helped on that aspect to make sure that you're profitable?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's the thing is, you know, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of other people that do wraps, like you said, that are just afraid to charge what they want to charge. And one of the things that's helped me, like from Andrew, is just helping me not be afraid to charge what I need to in order to be a profitable business. And I actually get a lot of hate, a lot of shade thrown my way for charging higher prices, but it's what I got to do to run a profitable shop.
Now, this is probably an awkward time to place that order, so I'll put it on the agenda that we share. I need to get 6 more SM58 mics. You know, the ones with the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Where it's the red, white, and blue SM58 Shure mic that we have, and it's just the 3 colors. I think the mic itself is blue, and then I think the handle is maybe red, or something like that.
Yeah.
I sincerely, I wanted to order. I need to get 6 more of those from you. So for me and for anybody out there that wants to order stuff like that from you, what's the best way to do that?
So if anybody wants to do any type of ordering like that, they can just give us a call at our office number, which is 918-806-2780. And we're happy to help you. I mean, of course, our biggest thing is automotive. We can do automotive anytime, but we like doing little things like the mics, or, going out to actual properties and doing some jobs out on site. We like doing a little bit of everything. So you have to give us a call.
I'm going to pull this up so people can see what I'm talking about here. So this is the mic here. That's an SM58 mic. It's the mic made by the Shure company. And this is the mic here. It's blue on top. It's got the white, then the red handle there. That's the SM58 mic. And you guys auto wrap those. So I'm going to put that on your agenda with Andrew so you guys can talk about it. But you guys do auto wraps. I mean, you guys do mic wraps. Anything else that you wrap that's a common request right now that people are asking you about there, sir?
A common thing here recently has been refrigerators. People want to have their little man caves and, put their cars in their garage, and they want to have their refrigerator wrapped with like car logos or whatever it is. So refrigerators, yeah, it's kind of a weird
refrigerator wrapping. That's awesome. And again, final question I have here for you. What would you say for anybody out there thinking about scheduling a free one-on-one consultation by going to thrivetimeshow.com? Maybe they're on the fence. We had a guy I talked to last week who'd been a listener for 7 consecutive years. And he said, I don't know what the deal was. I think I had a phobia of reaching out to you guys. And but he reached out to us, and in 9 months, his company's grown 57%. So in 9 months, he's grown his company by 57%. And on part 2 of today's show, I'm going to introduce our listeners to this man because he's doing really well. What would you say to anybody out there that's thinking about scheduling a consultation, but they have yet to do so?
Man, I say you're making a mistake if you're not reaching out ASAP. I mean, you're just holding yourself back. Working with Thrive is one of the best decisions I've ever made for my company. I've been with them for 6.5 years now, and it's something I really, really recommend everybody do.
Well, brother, I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for carving out time for us again, folks. That website is whitegloveautotulsa.com. You can auto wrap a refrigerator. You can auto wrap a mic. You can auto wrap a Lamborghini, which now Myron now owns. So if you want to buy a Lamborghini from Myron, maybe he'll sell you he just bought it, but maybe he'll sell you his new Lamborghini at a reasonable markup. We'll see, folks. So you can buy a Lamborghini from Myron. You can buy an auto wrapped refrigerator. You can buy an auto wrapped microphone. You can buy all of those wonderful things at whitegloveautotulsa.com. Myron, thank you for carving out time for us. I really do appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Well, Thrive Nation, on part 1 of today's show, we talked to a guy by the name of Myron Kirkpatrick. Now, Myron Kirkpatrick, as you just heard, is a guy that just bought his first Lamborghini. And you might say, well, that's awesome for him. Well, the thing about Myron is Myron heard that his buddy, Steve Currington, just bought a Lamborghini. And so he had that curiosity, and he said, well, you're a mortgage guy. How is it possible that you just bought a Lamborghini? Man, you must be doing a lot of mortgages. And Steve said, I am doing a lot of mortgages. In fact, a lot of them, a ton of mortgages. In fact, if you go to stevecurrington.com, I'm the mortgage guy. And Myron says, well, how are you doing a lot of mortgages? And he says, well, I've got a proven system. And see, I've been working with this guy, Clay Clark. And he says, you've been working with Clay Clark? And so next thing you know, Myron, as you just heard, folks, he became a client 6.5 years ago, and he just is having his Lamborghini delivered today, his brand new Lamborghini. His business has grown by 20 times. And all it was a quick conversation that caused a complete change in his destination. So what am I saying? Today's guest has been a longtime client, and I believe that he has a solution for you that may just change your life. This is a man who has built a business and a system that has grown and scaled. He's been a longtime client. We have a lot of confidence in what he does. I have confidence in him as a person. I endorse him as a person. I endorse his company. I endorse what he stands for. He's the founder of a company called Window Ninjas. And over the past 3 years, we've had the honor to work with him. His company has continued to grow. And now he's to a place and space where he's offering franchising, which means he's going to allow you to use his super proven recipe, if you want to, for a fee. So without nothing further ado, Gabe Salinas from Window Ninjas. Welcome to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
I am wonderful, Clay. Glad to be here.
I got to ask you, when was that moment in your life when you thought, you know what? I think I'm going to open up my own business. Do you remember where you were or when you had that thought of, you know what, I'm things are going well, or maybe things aren't going well, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make the first step, maybe make the first call, maybe start my own company. Or when did that aha moment happen for you?
Early on in my life, Clay, I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always been interested in business. So as a youngster growing up, I was always hustling. I was always going out and knocking on doors so I could cut somebody's grass and earn some money, and doing all those little things, washing cars, as you do as a kid. But I was always interested in entrepreneurship, being my own boss, opening my own business. And man, early on in my life, I just kind of continued to have that mentality. And I knew probably right around the age of 19, 20 that I was going to do my own thing. Is really when I was committed fully to really focus on my business.
So when did you start WindowNinjas.com? When was that moment where you started WindowNinjas.com?
We started Window Ninjas almost 3.5 years ago, going on our 4th year. Actually, 2, 3. What year is this? Yeah. And so at any rate, I had actually opened up a franchise early on in my youth, and had ran with that for quite a number of years. And it allowed me to be able to see what a poorly run franchise system was like. And over a 10-year span of dealing with that specific franchise system, I gained a lot of knowledge. Good things to do, bad things, not to do. And it just kind of turned my mental state into, I was going to get out of this bad franchise system at some point and then turn myself into my own entity and then build a good franchise system. So I was kind of driven to things in a little bit different manner than most.
And you have how many locations now of WindowNinjas.com? We
currently operate in 12 different cities throughout 4 states.
And for just some context, so people out there know, with Myron, he was talking about, we've worked with Myron for almost 7 years at this point. When did you and I first connect? How long ago was that?
Right around 3.5 years ago, right when we opened up Window Ninjas, probably, I guess, well, no, forgive me, Clay, I'm getting old, but so if I go back in time, me and you've been together since right around 3.5 years, and then coming up on almost 4 now. And then I think about it, I think we started in August.
Yeah.
And then we've actually had Window Ninjas for 3 years prior, 2 to 3 years prior to that. So I actually, 5 to 6 years we've had Window Ninjas.
And you guys have grown over the past, on the tracking sheet over the past 3.5 years that we've been with you, I think you guys have doubled the business. And now you guys, is that accurate? You've doubled. Your business is rocking.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be somebody listening right now, and you're like, man, I kind of want to own my own business, and I don't know the first thing about owning one or where I would even start. Kind of guide people through, what does that first step look like if somebody wants to learn about opening a Window Ninjas franchise?
Well, the first step's pretty easy. If you just go to my website at windowninjas.com and click on the little franchise page link, it'll show you some information there. You can simply fill out a form at the request service page as well. But just send me an email, put your information in there. let me know that you're interested in franchising out, and I will get that email, and then we will start the conversation. We'll make a phone call, set up an introductory meeting, and go over the things of what it takes to be a Window Ninjas franchise owner, and I'll get to know a little bit about them as well.
Now, this isn't a backhanded compliment. I'm just trying to get people to keep people some context. This is a client I've worked with for a long time, the Co-Laws. We've worked with them since 2017. We're now in 2013. Their business has grown quite a bit. And if you wanted to open up a Co-Law fitness location, what you'd have to do is, spend $1 million to open up a huge building and to buy all that equipment. And then you'd have to train all those people. And that's what it looks like to own a Co-Law fitness. I mean, you have to get a big building, a lot of equipment, train a big staff, and that's what it looks like to open a Co-Law fitness company. If you scroll up here, this is all from my newest book. You go to thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire, and you can download this book. It's thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. And this is a millionaire's guide, how to become sustainably rich. You can download it for free at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. Now you look at that and you go, wow, the Co-Laws are successful, but I don't have that first $1 million sitting around. Well, Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author, says here, drifting without aim or purpose is the first cause of failure. So if you know you're not going to have $1 million sitting around to buy your own fitness company, what I would recommend you do is get realistic and set some SMART goals and say, how can I go about opening my own business now? Like, what is the most realistic path for you? And I think for a lot of people, a great place to start is to open up a franchise, open up a proven system that's been shown to work time and time again. So how much money are we talking about? If someone says, I don't have $1 million to open up a Co-Law, but I do want to open a business. How much does it cost to open up a Window Ninjas?
It's not as much as $1 million, Clay. We're a little bit more reasonable than that. I'm not saying that Co-Law is not reasonable.
Sure.
However, with us, you got a $50,000 franchise fee. And then you're purchasing your truck, your equipment packages, things of that nature. New vehicles today are running about $50K. So all in, to open up a window and pressure cleaning company with us here at Window Ninjas, you're looking right around the $150,000 mark, give or take about $25K on either side, depending on what type of package that the individual wants to purchase.
So this is a thing where, this is a business that it isn't $1 million to get started. Now, if somebody gets started with you guys, the first step is to schedule a consultation. And that consultation is just to find out if you're a good fit, to ask, any questions, to see if it's a good timing, good fit. But I want to go over kind of the most commonly asked questions. So I've got 5 rapid fire questions for you. One, does anyone have to have any experience in the window cleaning business, or the window cleaning, the gutter cleaning, the pressure washing, the chimney sweeping, or the dryer vent cleaning business before they need to get started with you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Second is, does somebody have to already have a vehicle? Does somebody already have to have a warehouse? Does somebody have to have a big business acumen before they get started with you?
If they had a vehicle, we would prefer it to be a white truck, because that is what we utilize. GMC is the brand that we use as well. So if they had that, that would be a step in the right direction. And as far as business acumen, absolutely not. I mean, if they are... Typically what we find, Clay, is that people that may not have had their own business are typically inclined to have their own business, are already in that business mindset. They want to work for themselves. They want more time freedom and financial freedom. And they know the best way to do it is to start a business or open up a business that has already been franchised out.
Now, one of the mind-numbing things involved in owning a company is that discovering that you always have to answer the phone. And Window Ninjas or an OxyFresh, these are 2 franchises that I'm involved with. I'm just trying to give people some context. I believe in this model. This is kind of how I try to do it. But if you buy a Tip Top Canine franchise, obviously you have to love dogs. If you open up an OxyFresh franchise, there's 507, I think, locations open as of right now. So you have to find a territory that's open. If you go to a Window Ninjas, it's a growing brand, and so there's much more availability. But with all 3 of the brands, the phone does not ring to the local owner. So when the phone rings, a scheduling center or a call center answers the phone. Kind of explain to our listeners how that works.
It's pretty simple, and it's a huge benefit for the companies like ours that actually have a call center that takes all of the phone calls and does all the scheduling. It's pretty much that we set up a local phone number for the specific location. That phone number rings into our call center, and one of the many 10 to 12 agents that we have will pick that phone call up and facilitate the needs of that specific client. And it's really huge, Clay. For example, I was talking to somebody yesterday in Utah And they were asking me about my call center, and they were actually asking me about you as well. We had a good conversation about franchising, but they also were amazed that we had this call center. These are guys that do like auto detailing, boat detailing, and they even detail planes, and they got these mobile detailing service, and they actually have a shop too. And I told them about my call center, and they were like, wow, that's huge. We never thought of that. And I said, yeah. I said, how would you like to be waxing the Lamborghini or putting a nice fresh coat of wax on the airplane, and then have to answer a phone call, and then you forget where you're at on the airplane, and then you're taking and facilitating the need of the client over here and trying to schedule it, and you're kind of multitasking. And it was kind of like a light bulb went off in their head, and they were like, wow, that's a huge benefit. I said, absolutely. It's a benefit to the client, and it's also a benefit to the franchisee. We take that step out of their hands, and it allows them to be able to do the great things with the individual customers that they're working with day to day.
And I think that is just absolutely a home run, and a lot of details to go behind your excellent call centers. You guys have call recording in place. You have proven call scripts in place. You have ongoing call training and mentorship for your representatives who work for you. You have a turnkey hiring system, so you always have a great call center team that you're always coaching and mentoring up. There's so much value there. The next is the proven turnkey advertisement. I think a lot of people get stressed out about buying a business because they think, how would I possibly generate leads? And I know I have a kind of a confirmation bias because we've worked with you to help you build those systems. I know your systems work well, but maybe explain to people a little bit of the detail of the turnkey marketing system that you provide to franchisees.
Well, with your help, Clay, we've been able to really dive into the nitty gritty with our marketing plan. We always run AdWords. We manage those AdWord campaigns for each one of our locations. And then just the production of content, whether it be content that we're putting on YouTube or blog articles that we're writing, or just other content articles that we're writing. We produce a lot of content every single day that is relevant to the industries that we service. And within that content, we are optimizing that content so that it ranks high on Google. And we typically become the first item when somebody's searching for one of our services. We're popping up there. Most of the time, you'll find that it's an article that we've written or a blog post that we've written about something that the consumer actually has questions about concerning our specific services that we offer.
Now, one more thing, and I'll kind of wrap it up with this. You guys really look at the numbers too. A lot of people worry about owning a business because they say, I don't know what I would do with my accounting. I don't know about the legal. I don't know about the numbers. There's kind of a phobia around the numbers and the finances of a company. And you guys have really thought through the numbers. And when someone schedules a consultation, you'll go over those numbers with people in your open book, and it really helps people to have that confidence. But can you maybe talk about the numbers and just knowing the margins and knowing the pricing and knowing what you're going to charge for things? Because I think that's a big benefit that you offer as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you definitely got to charge the right amount in order to make the right amount, right? We've taken all of that and just dialed it down. We're looking at numbers on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we are charging the right amount, that we're making the right amount of profit that we intend to have. We're making sure that the numbers add up so that the employees get paid properly. If there's any deductions or maybe there's a coupon or a giveaway that a consumer is going to get, we got to make sure those numbers are right. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into looking at the numbers on a day-to-day basis, making sure that our vendors are getting paid and things of that nature. But we really dialed all of that in, and that's part of the benefit of being in our franchise system, is that we teach every one of our franchises the nuts and bolts of the accounting as well. So it's more than just cleaning a piece of glass or pressure washing a house, but it's actually running the business and having the business serve you.
So if I'm listening right now, I want to get a hold of you guys. Again, Gabe, a lot of our listeners are driving while they listen to the show. What's the first step people need to take today, sir?
First step would be visit our website. Go to windowninjas.com. That's ninjas with an S. And just browse our website. Go to the franchise link on there. Fill out that form. You can find a form on pretty much any of our pages. But, take that first step. Just send me an email. Give us a call, whichever one you want to do. We're always happy to facilitate the needs of somebody that's interested in working with our team over here at Window Ninjas.
Hey, brother, thank you so much for carving out time. And again, that's windowninjas.com. That's Gabe Salinas with windowninjas.com. Gabe, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Clay. Have a great one. Keep shining.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and ranking there with Google.
And also, we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with. So.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. 1 month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services You're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like him most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us, make sure that you actually like it, make sure training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy a Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25-35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine, to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top Canine is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.
All right, Thrive Nation, we have the honor of working with 160 clients, and I can tell you this, today's guests are probably in that top 10% of clients I've ever had. These are people that are super diligent. They're hardworking. They're growing a family. They're growing a business. They're putting in the work. And again, it's not about what you learn. It's about what you do. Again, success isn't about just learning ideas. It's about implementing those ideas, because we all get great ideas from books and talk show hosts and self-help books and seminars, but it's about implementing those ideas. And that's what our business coaching program is all about. And we're honored to serve these two guests. They're having a lot of success. They run a company right here in Oklahoma, and it's called Highwayman Signs. Kenny, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. Welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing great, Clay. Thanks for having us.
And Danielle, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Danielle, in the line of work that I do, I've been coaching clients since 2005, and just like you guys, when you install a sign that you define success by, is the customer happy with the sign? With what I do, I define success as, is the customer growing? Since we've worked with you, have you guys doubled the size of the company? Have you grown by 25%, or how much have you grown total from the time we first met until now? Do you know as far as a rough percentage?
I would say about 50%.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Easily
50%. Of course, each week it fluctuates a little bit, but I would say it's a pretty steady 50% since we've started working with you. I know our staff has doubled.
Yeah, we've doubled our staff. Our profits just for this year alone are up over 100%. So it's been very fruitful.
Now, Kenny, I every month, I pay an accountant and I pay an attorney, and I've had all the same people for over a decade, and it really helps me knowing that I'm paying a flat fee of, let's say, $3,000 a month to an attorney, or $4,000 a month to an accountant, and I have kind of a set flat fee, and that really helps me, having people on my team for over 10 years, but also it helps me on the budget perspective. Final question I have for you, Kenny, is for people out there that are thinking about spending $1,700 a month for a coach, or paying $250 to get a ticket to a workshop. How would you describe the value that someone would receive, or what would be your thoughts on that monthly cost?
Well, it's been a huge value. I'll be honest with you. And if you break it down, I look at everything like that. That's a monthly fee, and the services that you provide, and I break it down to an hourly rate, right? I'm a business owner. I'm thinking, okay, I'm hiring a company, but it's just like hiring an employee, right? And so I break it down by an hourly rate, and it's less. I mean, it's like minimum wage is what you're charging, and you're offering so much. I paid thousands of dollars to have websites built that aren't even a fraction of what we have now. And it didn't come with the coaching that you provide, and just the advice that you give us. And not only that, you're pushing us every week to make sure that we're hitting our goals and that we're constantly driving things forward. And that's what we need. It's like you're like a personal trainer. If you go to the gym, sure, you can pick up some weights here and you can jump on this machine and you can run on the treadmill for a little bit, but having somebody there giving you advice saying, hey, if where do you want to go, and who do you want to be in 6 months, a year, 10 years, and actually kind of building that personal track for us so we can hit those goals. And it's been very, very, very helpful. And it's a huge value. I'll be honest with you.
As far as the hiring processes, so many people say it's impossible to find good people. And we've taught you the hiring process, and you guys are implementing the group interview, and you're continuing to bring on better and better talent. For anybody out there that doesn't know about the group interview or maybe how that's helped your company, tell everybody about the hiring process there, Danielle.
Yeah, I love it. At first, I felt really abrasive towards it just because it was something new and different. And it definitely puts you on the spot as a business owner and somebody who is looking for a good candidate. But at the same time, you're saving yourself so much time. If there's anything that I can speak to as far as hiring new people and being a business owner, it's that you can't get your time back. So it's very important to us to continue to do these group interviews. So I set up weekly group interviews. I invite anybody and everybody who applies. The last thing that I want to do is not encourage somebody to come for whatever reason. I give everybody an opportunity. And then during that group interview, I kind of just really get to know each person that's there, both professionally and then personally, to make sure that they're a good fit for the company. And then even further, to really make sure that they're a good fit for the company, we then shadow. So we invite people to come back for about an hour or two and shadow with us. And if they are a good candidate and they like the position as well, then we bring them on board.
Now, Kenny, people ask me all the time as a business consultant, they say, what's the most important part of growing my company? I said, well, it's hiring, it's marketing, it's sales, it's accounting, it's legal, it's management, it's online ads, online reputation. I mean, it's all of that. It's not just one thing. Marketing. Let's talk about marketing for a second. When your website there is really looking sharp, and it's never done. I mean, we're always updating it. You guys are always supplying new before and after photos of projects, new customer testimonials. Can you talk about the process of working with you guys over the last couple of years on developing the website?
Yeah, absolutely. Your team's been instrumental in that. We've had for years, I tried to get just third-party people to build us a website, and you get a landing page or something like that kind of looked like what you wanted. But your team has always been above and beyond and have always taken my idea and made it better. And so obviously we have a gallery now that we have hundreds of photos on that customers can go look at and actually see. And that's given them ideas as well. Because sometimes with our line of business being signs, it's cast such a wide net that people sometimes don't know what we offer. And so it's been great to say, hey, go to our website and check out our gallery, check out our services and see if there's anything there that that catches your eye. And so like channel lettering or vehicle wraps or anything, and people have looked on there and be, oh my goodness, I love this sign. Can you make something like that for us? And that's been huge. Just having that page and having such a professional job that people go on there and they're like, wow, this place is the real deal.
Now, I have this is not a backhanded compliment, but I'm going to go to Kenny on this one here. You have people I find in business that have a really awesome website and great print pieces, but their service is terrible. The product is terrible. Or I find people that have great product and great service, but their online reputation doesn't communicate the level of quality that they provide. I think you guys were guilty of the latter, where you guys had great product, great service, but we just didn't have a whole lot of testimonials, didn't have a whole lot of reviews. How has the online reputation management impacted your sales, Kenny?
Well, it's huge. We're getting a lot more out of town interest now. We're getting a lot of national sign companies that are looking for local installers. And the first thing that they do is they're going to Google, they're checking out who's the best around, who's the best in this area. And so the reviews and getting our Google reviews and our video testimonials out there for other people to see has been like, oh, okay, I can trust this company because I've seen their products. They look great. Their website looks great. I've looked on there. Their customers are saying, great things about them. And so that, encourages people to call, make a phone call, send an email, and reach out to us. And then our staff gets right on board. We answer every phone call, every email, and try to take care of, every person we can.
Now, again, I think I got that right, but I think you guys have said you've doubled the profits. Is that accurate?
Yes, this year is double the profit. Well, it's
Amen
over
to that.
increase.
Yeah. Now, you guys are a couple and working together. I'd say maybe 10% of our clients, so maybe 15 or 16 of our clients are a husband and wife team. And probably the other clients, they're 90% of our clients, it's where the woman owns her own business or the guy owns his own business. And you two work together. And one of the things you have to do is you get more sales is you have to manage people. I'd like to get your thoughts, Kenny, on just the management processes, because I really do believe this is the most challenging aspect of growing a business is managing people on the planet, because you have some great people, but we all know this. There are certain people on the planet that will not do what they're told to do. They just won't. And so we've worked with you guys to implement merit-based pay. And I could be wrong, but I believe now the merit-based pay is turning out to be very effective, and it's kind of changing the culture to being very productive. I'd love to get your thoughts on implementing merit-based pay and some of the management training that you guys have been receiving.
Absolutely. Well, managing people is a lot like parenting. I mean, they're like children, and we're kind of the parents. So but what we've implemented in just the last few weeks and months that we've worked on this is what we've done is we've actually broke down pretty much all of the tasks to basically like $1 per hour. And so what we've seen, we have a base pay that's fairly modest to get people on board. But just with the way the landscape has changed over the last few years, you can get paid $16, $17 an hour for flipping burgers, right? And so we're like, okay, well, I can't prove that they're worth that when they come and we hire somebody right off the bat, because we're dealing with a lot of people's business and their livelihood. And so we need to make sure that we get their products right, so that their business can succeed. And so what we've done is we've broken down some of the tasks by $1 per hour. So even though they have a base pay of say $12 an hour, we give them a chance to make upwards of even $20 an hour if they'll just do the things right and make sure that they're correct. They're getting their Google reviews. They're also making sure the customers, product is entered in correctly and all of their notes, and making sure they don't miss anything with the customer. And all of these things are broken down. And I'm like, every week I'm telling my employees that you're showing me what you're worth by doing this. This week it's like you didn't do any of these items on your merit list, and so you're only worth $12 an hour this week, even though I know last week you were doing $20 an hour worth of work. And so it's like, show me what you're worth every week, and I'm not having to yell at them. I'm not having to berate them every week like, hey, I need you to come in and do your job, even though that's what you're paid to do. It's the our chart is basically making that, our standard is making that pay available to them, and all they have to do is hit the standard. So
now, Danielle, one of the things we try to do for all of our clients is provide the weekly coaching, but then we also behind the scenes do the photography and the video and the web and all that, and we have that weekly meeting to really prevent drifting. So if you could go back and say, okay, for anybody out there that's maybe thinking about becoming a client or coming to one of our workshops, how would you describe how having a one-on-one business coaching relationship with our team has changed your business?
Oh, it has changed it drastically. I mean, when it comes down to it, you think that you know exactly the way that your business should be operating, right? But in fact, you only have your own perspective. Even if you are husband and wife working together, you still only have your own perspective. So having somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and really start to implement new tasks, new projects, new things that we're trying to do to help our business grow and our people grow, having that extra person to help you with that has been immeasurable completely. There's so many things that I have learned throughout the last couple of years here that I would never have had the time or the energy to seek it out to try and find these things. I feel like I probably would have been butting my head against a wall constantly. So.
Well, you guys have been awesome to work with, and I can tell I've referred you now to quite a few people because people have asked me, they say, where'd you get that Blockbuster sign, man? That's an awesome Blockbuster sign. You know, people come to our workshops. We include the workshops with our business coaching. So people come to the workshop and they go, where did you get that massive Blockbuster sign? And I tell them about you guys, or people will ask me, Clay, who's the sign company that you would recommend? And I without reservation, I tell them Highwayman Signs. Kenny, tell us for the listeners out there, most of our listeners are all over the country. What markets can you service and what markets can you not service at this point at highwaymansigns.com, sir?
So we are servicing all of Oklahoma. Obviously, we've done jobs up as far north as Topeka, Kansas, Joplin, Missouri, as far as south as Dallas and Arlington, Texas. So we do about a 5 to 6 hour circle around Tulsa. And but if there's something that you're needing done, if you've got a branch that's out of state, we can make all of your signage here in town and get that shipped up to you, and we will find a local installer. We'll work with the local government office as well to make sure your permitting and everything is legal, all your electrical permits or whatever it needs to make sure that it's safe and legal to go up. And we'll do all that for you. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So we can do anywhere in the country.
Well, guys, it's been a blessing working with both of you guys. And again, folks, we try to only work with diligent doers, people that are willing to put in the work. And you guys put in the work every week. You're growing a business and growing a family. I know it's tough to do, and it's an honor to serve you guys. We consider you to be friends. Again, folks, it's highwaymansigns.com. If you're listening right now and you're in the Dallas area, the Oklahoma area, the Kansas City area, within a 4-mile radius of Tulsa, Oklahoma, check out highwaymansigns.com. I highly recommend their service. Guys, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Take care, guys.
This is Brent Starks with United Lending from Stuart, Florida. Just give a shout out to Thrive Time Show and Clay Clark. We've been with them for, 3 years now. We've been working with them to help us with our systems, get our arms around our numbers, get some great systems in place as far as marketing, working with our Dream 100, holding us accountable. And so actually hooking us up with a lot of fine vendors as well that save us a lot of time, and those referrals really helped us out as well. But we've seen tremendous success putting those in place, getting our Google reviews, our video testimonials, all of those things coming together as a full marketing plan has really helped us out. So we can't say thank you enough for Clay Clark, Thrive Time, and Andrew Bloomer, who's worked with us for 3 years now. So wonderful job, guys. Thank you for all you do.
Well, Thrive Nation, we have an opportunity all the time. We have so many wonderful people that go to thrivetimeshow.com and they reach out to us to schedule a 13-point assessment. We also have a lot of people that go to thrivetimeshow.com and they schedule a free 13-point assessment, and they're not a good fit because I only work with diligent doers. I only work with people that are willing to actually implement the proven systems that Dr. Zellner and I both teach and implement in our own companies. So people say, I do want to grow my business 7 times faster. I do want to reduce my working hours. I do want to increase my time freedom and my profits. I think we're all in agreement that that's a good thing. However, we can only help people that are willing to put the work in. And on today's show, we're joined by a man by the name of Ronnie Morales. His company is moralesbrothers.net. I hold him in high regard because he and his family-owned business, they actually are growing. I would call it dramatically. When you look at this, Inc. magazine right now shows that 96% of businesses fail. Inc. magazine says 96% of businesses fail. That's not good. Whereas this guy's business isn't growing by 10%. It isn't growing by 20%. It is growing dramatically. But again, if Ronnie Morales had filled out the form and had scheduled a consultation and wasn't willing to actually implement what we were teaching, it would all be for naught. So I'm excited for you to meet somebody who I would consider to be a diligent doer. He's based in Richmond, Texas. And now, without any further ado, Ronnie Morales, welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks, Clay.
Hey, so how did you first hear about us? How did you hear about the Thrive Time Show?
I listened to your Thrive Time Show podcast for those 7 years, and I was learning so much. I was like, man, I got to give this guy a try.
So you listened to our podcast 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Really?
7 years.
Do you remember the first podcast you listened to 7 years ago?
I don't remember. I listened to so many of them.
Okay.
I listened to, more than once.
Now, when you're listening to the podcast, I try to feature clients on the show so that there's real people really doing it, really implementing the systems. When did it occur to you that you might want to, go ahead and fill out the form at thrivetimeshow.com and schedule a consultation?
I got to the point to where I just needed to take the next step. And I've been in coaching before, like group coaching and different things like that. But I just felt like everybody on your show was making tremendous changes in their business. And coming from you and Dr. Z, I felt like y'all had the experience. It didn't matter if it was, because I've been used to doing construction, like peer groups and construction coaching, where it's contractors only. Well, I felt like, you know what, I need somebody business minded to help me grow this. I don't necessarily need a group of just contractors. I need somebody that knows the business part of it.
And what kind of growth have you had since you began working with us, as far as a percentage? Do you know a percentage or what kind of growth?
Yeah, so we had about a 57% increase from last year's first quarter to this year's first quarter. So that was huge for us. And personal growth too. I honestly, just as a business leader and team member here in my company, I've grown a lot to be a better leader, learn how to delegate better, learn how to get these 15-minute huddles started every morning. And it's just been great. I'm just continue to learn, and I can't wait to keep moving forward.
Well, people always ask me, they say, what's the most important part of business consulting? And that would be, to me, like asking a baker, what's the most important ingredient in a cookie? I mean, is it the flour? Is it the sugar? Is it the eggs? I would say if you take out any one of those core ingredients, you're going to have a weird tasting cookie. So in our business consulting, we focus on marketing, branding, sales, hiring, leadership, management, accounting, all of those things. So let's kind of go through the process from just a branding perspective and a marketing perspective. How has the business consulting impacted your company?
No, it's been great. The branding, the marketing. I mean, people around town are telling us, "Hey, I've seen your trucks here and there. I see you all over the place." When people are searching Google or whatever it is, they're finding our videos and they're reaching out to us. I think one of the biggest parts with business coaching for me has been the accountability. Like just having somebody to tell me, like, "Hey, get this, and this done, and have it done by this day," and we move on to the next step. So I mean, it's been great.
Now we have a weekly meeting. The purpose of a weekly meeting is so that you have a week to get your homework done. We have a week to do our homework. I mean, we do photography, videography, web development, search engine optimization, and you and I meet on Saturdays at 6:30 a.m. I find a lot of my clients like to meet in the mornings. How important is it to have that weekly meeting? Because I'm 42, but when I was 21, I was hiring business consulting programs that would do quarterly meetings or oftentimes even monthly meetings. And I found that nothing got done. How important is it for you to have a weekly meeting?
I think it's very important as a business owner to have that weekly accountability to make sure you're staying on schedule. Because as a business owner, you wear so many hats. It makes it difficult to get the important things done that you need to get done, but that you want to put on the back burner. But when you have somebody to be accountable to, and it's a weekly thing, and they're steadily putting in your ear, like, you got to get these things done. Get the reviews. Get the video testimonials. It just makes it to where you have an assignment and they just get it done.
Now, at the business conferences, we walk people through the entire system. This is the system we teach from. This is from my newest book called A Millionaire's Guide to Becoming Sustainably Rich, which everyone can download for free right now at thrivetimeshow.com/millionaire. You and I, we track the numbers every week. So box number 1, we establish those revenue goals. We do that. We know the break-even numbers. We know how many hours you're willing to work. This is crazy. You're married. Your wife loves you. You love your wife. I'm not ever advocating during our coaching meetings, like, forsake your family and grow your company. Can you talk about that, how important it is to work with maybe a coach that understands that you want to have a healthy family and a healthy company?
Oh, I think it's very important. Like yesterday, I had a good dinner with my wife, and we had a good evening with live music and really enjoyed each other's company. I took my kids camping twice this month already for 4 days, and we're enjoying the summer. But I think it's very important that as a business owner, as you put the hours in, put the hard work in, that you also take the time to spend with friends and family. I mean, it's important. Rising up early to get in my meditation time is very important to me too. So I think just, again, having somebody that knows the value of these things is important.
Now, as we go through, I mean, you are knocking it out with the marketing and the branding and all the things we have to do to optimize your website and make the ads work. We've determined your unique value proposition. We've improved the branding. We have a three-legged marketing stool. We know how to generate leads online and offline and referrals. The sales process, and I'm not picking on you, but I mean this, you're like a super humble guy. So I feel like that the sales process was something that once you learned the proven process, you kind of took to it right away. But I think a lot of contractors don't want to come across as too aggressive or too passive or too whatever. And I feel like the sales process of your team really doing a good job of calling all the leads, and the calls are recorded for quality assurance. I feel like that's been a big needle mover for you. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I had my own way before I joined your team. I had my own way of sales, and what I thought was working really wasn't working. And at first I put up a wall, but once I was opened up to the why you do it the certain ways you do it, it really opened up more ways to be more successful. With the call scripts, with the recorded calls, we're still tweaking scripts and things like that, but it's like an ongoing process. But it's been great, and I think that it has helped us a lot. We call our leads back right away, within hours, a few hours, most of the time, and it's just important. And we've gotten a lot of leads, and where I needed to hire my first sales employee.
And now we're working on more of the systems, creating these repeatable systems and managing a larger group of people in that daily huddle. Can you talk? I hammer all my clients that it's so important to have a daily huddle with your team, to huddle with your team every morning and to have a weekly staff meeting. Could you talk about the importance of implementing these human resource strategies for managing people and what impact that's had for your company?
Yeah, so the impact of daily huddles have for my company is that it brought the team together. All of our employees, which is 17 of us full time, it's brought us all together to where we get to see each other in the mornings and grow together. We start off with some wins, keep it brief. We go over company updates. Then we go over all our projects and we ask how's that client doing? Is the project on schedule? But what it did, it helped us a lot with the daily interruptions with, hey, so what's going on here? And these questions that could be answered in the morning. So they learn to answer these important questions in the morning so that there's less interruption throughout the day.
Now, the final two areas I wanted to cover here is, there's so much to growing a company, and that's what we talk about on our weekly coaching calls. But building a sustainable and repetitive weekly schedule, like every week we're doing the group interview. Every week we're gathering objective reviews from clients. Every week we're gathering before and after images. Every week you're gathering testimonials from your happy clients. You have to do this stuff every week. It's like a garden. You got to pull the weeds every week. Could you talk about the importance of having these human resource systems in place where you do these systems every week, so it's proactive as opposed to reactive, doing these same things over and over?
Yeah, I think it's important to do it every week and repeat them so that things don't fall through the cracks. And if you get too relaxed on not doing it, or you go 2 or 3 weeks without listening to recorded calls or whatever it may be, you start to slack off a little bit. The next thing you know, you're in trouble. And now you're putting out another fire that wouldn't have been there if you would have been on track and keeping up with the systems and processes. So just doing it repeatedly helps with building that system. Everybody knows it's this day at this time. Our morning huddles are every day from 7:07, last 15 minutes. And everybody knows to be there. And it's just been great.
Now, final two questions for you. People out there that maybe want to do business with you, they're hearing about you. Again, it's very hard to gather objective Google reviews if people don't like you. It's very hard to gather video testimonials if people don't like the work you do. What's your website, and how do people, go ahead and get a hold of you if they're looking to hire you guys for maybe a big project?
Yeah, so our website is moralesbrothers.net, and you can definitely just fill out our get in touch form to reach out to us. And I personally will actually be in touch with you and have a conversation with you.
And for anybody out there that's contemplating coming to one of our workshops or scheduling a free 13-point assessment, what word of encouragement or what advice would you have for anybody out there?
Well, I would say don't wait any longer. Jump in, because if I would have jumped in 7 years ago, I would have been in a whole different place today. So
I guarantee you would be. I'll say this though, and I'm not prophetic. I'm saying you're on pace. You're on pace to have a business that's going to be about 5 times larger than what it was when I first met you. And I say that because the first thing you see is the leads coming in, and you start to see new teammates joining your team, and you're building that foundation for success. And I totally see you guys going to a great place right now. So I wish I would have met you earlier. That's my only complaint. But that's Ronnie Morales. Ronnie, I really appreciate you. I'll give you the final word. What do you want to say to everybody out there that's maybe contemplating taking their business to the next level?
Like I said, guys, don't wait any longer. Reach out to Clay and the team, do your assessment, and be a diligent doer.
Amen to that. Ronnie Morales, take care, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
The number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year. We are Jared and Jennifer Johnson. We own Platinum Pest and Lawn and are located in Owasso, Oklahoma. And we have been working with Thrive for business coaching for almost a year now.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to share some wins with you guys that we've had by working with Thrive. First of all, we're on the top page of Google now. Okay. I just want to let you know what type of accomplishment this is. Our competition, Orkin, Terminex, they're both $1.3 billion companies. They both have 2,000 to 3,000 pages of content attached to their website. So to basically go from virtually non-existent on Google to up on the top page is really saying something. But that's come by being diligent to the systems that Thrive has, by being consistent and diligent on doing podcasts and staying on top of those podcasts to really help with getting up on with their listing and our ranking there with Google.
And also we've been trying to get Google reviews, asking our customers for reviews. And now we're the highest rated and most reviewed pest and lawn company in the Tulsa area. And that's really helped with our conversion rate. And the number of new customers that we've had is up 411% over last year.
Wait, say that again. How much are we up?
411%.
Okay, so 411% we're up with our new customers. Amazing.
Right. So not only do we have more customers calling in, we're able to close those deals at a much higher rate than we were before. Right now, our closing rate is about 85%, and that's largely due to, first of all, like our Google reviews that we've gotten people really see that our customers are happy, but also we have a script that we follow. And so when customers call in, they get all the information that they need. That script has been refined time and time again. It wasn't a one and done deal. It was a system that we followed with Thrive in the refining process, and that has obviously the 411% shows that system works.
Yeah. So here's a big one for you. So last week alone, our booking percentage was 91%. We actually booked more deals, more new customers last year than we did the first 5 months. Or I'm sorry, we booked more deals last week than we did the first 5 months of last year from before we worked with Thrive. So again, we booked more deals last week than the first 5 months of last year. And it's incredible. But the reason why we have that success is by implementing the systems that Thrive has taught us and helped us out with.
Some of those systems that we've implemented are group interviews. That way we've really been able to come up with a really great team. We've created and implemented checklists. That way everything gets done and it gets done right. It creates accountability. We're able to make sure that everything gets done properly, both out in the field and also in our office. And also doing the podcast, like Jared had mentioned, that has really, really contributed to our success. But that, like I said, the diligence and consistency in doing those and that system has really, really been a big blessing in our lives. And also, it's really shown that we've gotten the success from following those systems.
Yeah. So before working with Thrive, we were basically stuck. Really no new growth with our business. And we were in a rut, and we didn't know.
The last 3 years, our customer base had pretty much stayed the same. We weren't shrinking, but we weren't really growing either.
Yeah, and so we didn't really know where to go, what to do, how to get out of this rut that we're in. But Thrive helped us with that. They implemented those systems. They taught us those systems. They taught us the knowledge that we needed in order to succeed. Now it's been a grind. Absolutely, it's been a grind this last year. But we're getting those fruits from that hard work and the diligent effort that we're able to put into it. So again, we were in a rut. Thrive helped us get out of that rut. And if you're thinking about working with Thrive, quit thinking about it and just do it. Do the action, and you'll get the results. It will take hard work and discipline, but that's what it's going to take in order to really succeed. So we just want to give a big shout out to Thrive, a big thank you out there to Thrive. We wouldn't be where we're at now without their help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you are looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours where he does these tours all across the country where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. So I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy, Elon Musk kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company or, navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy with Tip Top Canine, and I'm the founder.
I'm Rachel Wimpy, and I am a co-founder.
So we've been running Tip Top for about the last 14 years, franchising for the last 3-4 years. So someone that'd be a good fit for Tip Top loves dogs, they're high energy, they want to be able to own their own job, but they don't want to worry about, that high failure rate. They want to do that like bowling with bumper lanes.
So you give us a call, reach out to us, we'll call you, and then we'll send you an FDD, look over that, read it, fall asleep to it, it's very boring, and then we'll book a discovery day, and you come and you can spend a day or two with us, make sure that you actually like it, make sure your training dogs is something that you want to do.
So an FDD is a franchise disclosure document. It's a federally regulated document that goes into all the nitty-gritty details of what the franchise agreement entails.
So who would be a good fit to buy Tip Top Canine would be somebody who loves dogs, who wants to work with dogs all day as their profession. You'll make a lot of money, you'll have a lot of fun, it's very rewarding. And who would not be a good fit is a cat person.
So the upfront cost for Tip Top is $43,000. And a lot of people say they're generating doctor money, but on our disclosure, the numbers are anywhere from over $1 million a year in dog training, what our Oklahoma City location did last year, to 25, 35 grand a month.
To train and get trained by us for Tip Top Canine to run your own Tip Top Canine, you would be with us for 6 weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So we've been married for 7 years.
8 years.
8 years. So if you're watching this video, you're like, hey, maybe I want to be a dog trainer. Hey, that one sounds super amazing. Go to our website, tiptopcanine.com, click on the yellow franchising tab, fill out the form, and Rachel and I will give you a call. Our Oklahoma City location last year, they did over $1 million. He's been running that shop for 3 years. Before, he was a youth pastor with 0 sales experience, 0 dog training experience before he ever met with us.
So just call us, come spend a day with us, spend a couple days with us, make sure you like training dogs, and own your own business.
Well, the biggest reason to buy a Tip Top Canine is so you own your own job and you own your own future, and you don't hate your life. You get an enjoyable job that brings a lot of income, but is really rewarding.
My name is Seth Flint, and I had originally heard about Tip Top Canine through my old pastors who I worked for. They trained their Great Pyrenees with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. They did a phenomenal job and became really good friends with Ryan and Rachel. I was working at a local church, and it was a great experience. I ended up leaving there and working with Ryan and Tip Top Canine. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about being self-employed is that I can create my own schedule. I have the ability to spend more time with my family, my wife, and my daughter. So my very favorite thing about training dogs with Tip Top Canine is that I get to work with the people. Obviously, I love working with dogs, but it's just so rewarding to be able to train a dog that had serious issues, whether it's behavioral or whatever, and seeing a transformation, taking that dog home, and mom and dad are literally in tears because of how happy they are with the training. If somebody is interested, I'd say don't hesitate. Make sure you like dogs. Make sure that you enjoy working with people, because we're not just dog trainers. We are customer service people that help dogs, and so definitely don't hesitate. Just come in and ask questions. Ask all the questions you have.